dogs here, we run this yard. Buckeyes bite and we bite real hard. Yo, we're rolling to Seattle, scarlet flood in the streets. Husky Stadium shaking when the Buckeyes meet. 22 games, yeah, you had your fun, but the big dog's here and the streak is done. Jetfish stinking like a day-old plate, cooking up losses, that's your fate. You bark, we bite, there's no debate. The Buckeyes feast and y'all the bait. The Husky is gonna meet the dog who let the Bucks out. Woo, woo. The Husky is gonna meet the dog who let the Bucks out. Woo, woo. Bulls breaking free, can't chain him down. Scarlet and gray, we own this town. Bo Jackson running wild, Jay's hard to stop. Burst and power, watch him hit the top. Every cut he makes, crowd losing their mind. Huskies chasing shadows, always 2 steps behind. Seattle skies, but the storm is red. Buckeyes crashing down on purple heads. From the horseshoe straight to the West Coast scene, we're the kings of the yard, y'all know what I mean. The Husky is gonna meet the dog who let the Bucks out. Woo, woo. The Husky is gonna meet the dog who let the Bucks out. Woo, woo. That streak is gone, it ends tonight. The Buckeyes bite and we bite real right. O-H-I-O. We're the dogs and we run the show. O-H-I-O. Seattle falls when the Buckeyes roll. Call up the dog pound, the scarlet bark. We're tearing up Huskies from light to dark. 22 wins, yo, that's cute. But the Big Ten dog just pulled up in boots. Coach fish sinking in a purple sea. Day-old smell, no victory. Tried to howl, but you sound too weak. Where the Buckeye bite, you'll feel all weak. The Husky is gonna meet the dog who let the Bucks out. Woo, woo. The Husky is gonna meet the dog who let the Bucks out. Woo, woo. The big dog's here, the crown is won. Streak is dead, Buckeyes number 1. O-H-I-O. O-O-H-I-O. Big dog Buckeyes, breaking chains. Seattle's ours, remember the name.
And welcome to a Monday night call-in show, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see each and every single one of you here this evening. I hope you enjoyed that little Ohio State versus Washington song of the week there. Who let the Bucks out? Woof, woof. That's right. Mimi, Sean, Caden, Tyler. Good to see you guys in the chat this evening. Andre, good to see you as well. Scrolling up through, seeing I didn't miss anybody this evening. Mika, Buck Vader, good to have all of you with us and everybody else who's watching right now. On the bottom of your screen, the call-in number is rolling. It's scrolling across the screen right now. 567-483-1999. That's the call-in number if you want to call in and chat with me tonight. Just got done interviewing Hooligan from the Sound the Siren podcast over there, our Washington sister podcast on the College Huddle. That's right, thecollegehuddle.com. Make sure you go check that out. Also, make sure that you, when you get the opportunity, if you're going to make a bet, go over to MyBookie. Go to MyBookie, put in the promo code OHIO. Let them know that you appreciate us by doing so. And get some free bet insurance, the courtesy of the OHIO podcast over at MyBookie. And of course, by all means, let them know you heard about us here on the OHIO podcast. All right, guys, we're gonna go right to the phone calls this evening. I wanna have some good conversations with everybody here tonight. Again, 567-483-1999 is the call-in number this evening. Let's see who's up first here. Oh, we're gonna get right off. We're gonna get down and dirty right off the bat. What's up, Diesel Freak?
Eric, you know who this daggone is. It is the Diesel Freak, the baddest SOG to be walking the face of God's green earth who bleeds International Harvester Red. What's going on this evening, good sir?
Buddy, I got a question to ask you, man.
Shoot your shot.
Dude, you have some pretty cool pictures you posted with some Buckeyes, man. Those were
Well, you know what?
cool.
If you're going to talk about the big dogs, I backed up what I said about being friends with the Buckeyes. Well, I think you just threw. I think I just threw him off one.
Yeah, you did, dude. Those were pretty cool, man. Got to give you a shout out for that, dude. Enjoyed checking those out. Also, it's harvest time. I see the
And
combines.
you had to see you just saw the new short with, one of my all-time favorite country tunes, International Harvester by Craig Morgan, which
Yeah.
born and raised on that tune, old son.
So it's your time of year, dude. Football season, harvest season. You're a hardworking man. You wear a steel hard hat. I know that.
Nope, steel toe boots.
Steel toe boots. So you can work and kick butt at the same time. I got you. Any concerns about the Washington game this weekend, my friend?
Eric, seriously?
No, I'm serious. Any concerns?
For the love of God, Eric, do I sound concerned
No.
about Washington?
No, you sound like you. In fact,
Like
you
that
sound
name
like
sounds like
you sound like you've been
Washington
drinking a
Redskins
milkshake.
who've been irrelevant for over 35 daggone years. They are not anybody to be concerned about, for the love of God.
Okay, well, I was just asking. I was just curious if you would be. So no concern about Washington. What do you want to talk about then, Dan?
I want to first say I wanted to apologize to your buddy, the Wild Man, for Saturday. I'm just going to say this. When you're running on about 3 Mountain Dew kickstarts in the morning and then you're running off to go work on combines on a good Saturday at 11:30 and you're running and you're all hustle, well, that's just how I run. And also I was just letting our, fellow colleagues of college football know OSU is not playing around this season. And that's a daggone fact. And I told everybody Saturday, you talk smack, you're going to get your kicked every single time. And we don't care about who you are or where you are. You're getting dealt with and done. That's simple as that.
Okay. Well, Chris didn't mention anything. Chris didn't mention anything to me, Dan. So I don't know if you owe him an apology or not. But your energy, as long as it's directed properly, your energy's fine, brother.
Well, and I was just letting everybody know. Everybody in the world of college football knows, especially the fan bases that like to complain all the time. And specifically, your buddy from Always Irish Radio, I hear a bunch of his fans yapping all the time on the internet, talking about how they're the most relevant school in all of college football and how we should never screwed them out of the title. And they're still complaining about it like big babies. I have to literally hear his fan base talk all that smack for 6 months.
Dan, they're 1-2. How much trash talking are they really doing? They're 1-2. They lost on the road at Miami. They lost at home to Texas A&M. They beat Purdue. Whoopity freaking da. That's their only win right now is Purdue, and you're 1-2. How much trash talking can you really do?
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, on that's true on that one, but some fan bases are just complainers and they're whiners, and I'm just being truthful, Eric, and that's what I've dealt with for the last couple of weeks.
Okay, well, I get you. I understand, man. It's not pleasant all the time, but do you think maybe, Dan, you kind of welcome it on yourself because you're so aggressive in your attacks of other fan bases and their teams?
No, they deserve to hear what I have to say. If they got a problem with what I got to say, you know what? They can come on here calling and tell me otherwise. But other than that, they can keep their mouths shut. That's
Okay.
all I'm going to tell them simply. If you got a problem with me, come on this show, grow a set, call in, and you can call me out. And I'll respond to you fast as you can say, holy moly. That's all I simply said.
Okay. All right. All right. So far this offseason, you've picked on Notre Dame, you picked on Georgia, you picked on the cheaters up north. Are those the three schools and fan bases you like to go at, or am I missing another one?
Well, you got one miss. You put one in correctly there. Georgia, that's one I respect.
Okay.
That's a fan base I respect.
Why do you respect their fan base?
Because let me just say this: I've got a brother from another mother down in Georgia,
Okay.
and he's a friend and a big dog fan, and I respect him a whole heck of a lot. And his fan base has been through a lot, but you know what? I'm not gonna give him any crap. And you know what? I've respected him. After that Peach Bowl game, I said, you know what? I respect him. I'm not gonna disrespect him that we lost. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about it. I mean, that was a game that was a real test of both metals. You know, iron sharpens iron. I mean, that's truth.
Yeah,
But the fan bases that I really despise and that I really have to give that your buddy Hummus Hero quoted, I'm bullying.
he said
Bullying.
he said you're
Yeah,
bullying somebody.
No, bullying these fan bases like Notre Dame, Scum,
Yeah,
Alabama,
he Hummus
Texas.
Hummus Hero said you were bullying those fan bases.
Yeah, because I like to talk smack. And I'm telling them that we own their, carcasses. And I told Hummus Hero, a fellow friend of the Buckeye Channel and the both Buckeye channels, I said, Hummus, I have the right to say what I want to say. If you have a problem with it, tell me otherwise or shut up. That's all I say.
Well, do you think maybe he was trying to approach you as in possibly you were giving the Ohio State fan base a bad reputation, possibly?
No, I know I ain't. I know that. Hummus just doesn't like me bullying other fan bases because we either own them or they haven't beaten us, or either they're just a bunch of crybabies. Which, let's be honest, the Scum fan base that I really despise is nothing but a bunch of babies. Notre Dame is nothing but a bunch of complainers that wear, you know, that wear church uniforms every freaking day at school. And Alabama's just a mess.
Are you talking about
And they're claiming.
Are you talking about Catholic kids? Kids who go to Catholic school? Is that what you mean by uniforms?
No, I'm talking about the kids at Notre Dame because Notre Dame is a school that's a Catholic school, but yet they're never mind.
Okay.
I like to call them the Catholic school uni kids,
Okay.
and that's what I've always called them.
Okay.
Not to offend anybody, but that's what I've always called them.
What'd you think about Michigan beating Nebraska over the weekend?
That was just, ugh. I didn't watch that game. That's just two disgraced teams that I really despise.
Really?
In this
You
conference.
despise Nebraska?
And I don't even. Literally, I don't even know why Nebraska's in this conference. They're just as irrelevant, and they're irrelevant. Wake me up when they actually freaking score against Ohio State, and when they've actually found a good coach, because they're stuck in their '90s lore, like the '90s is alive again. For the love of God, the '90s is not back, Nebraska fans. Jesus Christ.
Well, how you don't even remember the '90s, Caden. You were too young.
No, but I've watched the films, and trust me, I've watched the films replayed on YouTube
Okay.
too many dang times.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And you know how many Nebraska fans I've seen come across, and I've seen it come across the internet talking about how the '90s were the better years of Nebraska, and they wish the '90s came back. I've heard a bunch of it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole show of shenanigans.
Okay.
Like, they're claiming Dylan Raiola is Nebraska's savior. He ain't gonna do against anyone,
No,
and let alone
he
Ohio
ain't
State.
it. He's not developed well. That's for sure. All right, Caden, give me.
No,
I've kind of dominated this conversation with questions for you. Give me your take here at the end before we go to our next caller. Give me the take you want to give.
my take.
Yep.
I just literally said my take
Okay.
on everything.
Okay.
And other than that, do me a favor and tell your co-host just to make sure that he knows that when I got the foot all the way down on the throttle, I don't keep it off. I don't keep it off the dang throttle when I gotta get going, because that's a whole other subject. And I've got a little something message for my sister from another mother that's on this podcast. TG, I pray to God you come on here and you roast these Washington fans, and get a hold of me, TG. I maybe want to talk with you sometime. And so then if you want to do something like double roast a scum fan on the internet, or just absolutely destroy Nebraska or Washington fans online, give me a heads up, and I'll do you the favor, TG. I'll stay out of your lane, because she's like Storm from the X-Men. She's always storming on there. And I stay out of her lane because, let's be honest, that lady is always on fire. Fierier than a phoenix. Jeez. Sometimes I feel like my phone burns when that lady gets on here. Holy cow.
Well, she's definitely good at what she does. We're glad to have her here at the OHIO podcast, and very soon she's going to be doing a little bit more for us. We're excited about that. We can't wait to give that announcement. And I'll tell you what, Caden, I think you're going to really love the new takes that she might have. All right, buddy. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and look forward to talking to you again, Caden OH.
I'll go Bucks. Scum suck.
There he goes. We're off and running on a Monday night, everybody. That was Dan the Diesel Freak right there, everybody. All right, we're going to go back to the phone lines here. 931, what's going on this evening, David?
It's going pretty doggone good, brother. How you doing?
We got a little bit of rain. It never really came heavy today, but we'll take it. We needed it. I tried to mow my lawn last Friday, and all I did was kick up a bunch of dust, I felt like. So that's we needed some rain.
Well, that's good. So let's talk some college football.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. What you got?
I didn't get to watch the Illinois Indiana game.
Oh
but
my
I did
gosh.
catch highlights.
I watched it.
And it looked, from what I could tell from the highlights, Indiana looked like they were going to play for a national championship, and Illinois looked like they were a 3 or 4 win team. Illinois had they were just looked like they were in concrete. They just looked lethargic.
Yeah, it was.
From what I saw,
David, it was a beatdown of epic proportions, man. It was every bit as impressive to me as what Ohio State did to Tennessee and Oregon last year. It was on that level. It's time to admit that Kurt Cignetti's a really good football coach. He's a good football coach. Now, is Illinois not nearly as good as we thought they were? I think that's true. Is Indiana much better than I thought they were? I think that's true. I think both statements are true.
I want to see more from I want to see more from both. I don't think that's the Illinois team you're going to see the rest of this year. That's not a lethargic team. That happens. It happens, and Indiana will have one of those games somewhere along the line where they're not playing it. They're not hitting on all cylinders. It happens. And it looks like there might have been a little bit of a coaching there with Illinois too. Sometimes you get that double whammy. That game can look that lopsided. The coaching isn't going well. The players aren't playing well, and I find it hard to believe that Indiana's that good. Let me see more. I want to see more of that.
They looked awful good, brother. They looked awful good. Here's the one thing I'll say about Indiana. I was too quick to crown Illinois as this year's Indiana of last year, when Indiana's obviously this year's Indiana of Indiana last year. And I think what I saw was an Indiana team that might be even a little better than they were last year. I think they have a better quarterback than they had last year. So I mean, but to your defense, they have two really hard road games this year. They got to go out to Eugene, Oregon and play in Autzen Stadium, and they got to go over to Penn State and play in Happy Valley at Beaver Stadium. So those are two really hard road games. If they win one of those two, they're in the college football playoff, hands down, as long as they win their other games.
Oh yeah, if they win one of those, they're absolutely in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see more. I agree with you with their quarterback does look like he's much better than the quarterback that they had last year, and that makes a huge difference. It can make your offense timing and the confidence that the offense has, I want to see some more from Indiana. See if they can keep that energy up, and see if they perform with that looking like that the rest of the year, or if that was just they got up for that big game, and Illinois just came in looking like doggy doo doo. See if they rebound, how they look the rest of the year. Nebraska scum game. Scum does not win that game if they don't have their three big runs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't win that game.
And I'll tell you,
outside of those big runs, that game was kind of boring.
Yeah,
and Nebraska is still Nebraska's the Nebraska we've known for the last 25 years now, basically.
Yes. One of those runs, David, that they scored a long touchdown run was on like a 3rd and 9, and they did a bunch of pre-snap eye candy. Nebraska got all discombobulated in the secondary, and the linebackers had no idea where to go. And I'm sitting there yelling at the screen, they're going to run the ball. They're going to run. And then there they go. And I'm just like, oh, my gosh.
Because they don't have any receivers to throw to.
No.
And the quarterback just has no timing or anything with those receivers.
Or accuracy. There was twice he missed wide open wide receivers. Twice. I'm like all they have is a power run game. And if you just stack the box and force them to throw, you're going to beat them. If you have any pulse at all offensively, you're going to beat them.
Just stay in your run gap. Stay disciplined, and force them to beat you with their arm. Force them to beat you with the arm. Force them to throw it to beat you, and they're pedestrian. Because let me tell you what, that Nebraska team, I was kind of wondering about them anyways, because I watched that first game of the year against Cincinnati. Cincinnati had an opportunity to win that game at the very end of that ball game. If the ball would have been thrown on the outside rather than on the outside shoulder rather than the inside shoulder, that probably gets completed, and they would have won the game at the end. Cincinnati looks like they're a much better team than they were last year. The last couple of years, but Nebraska they're just kind of pedestrian. They really are. They're just kind of pedestrian, and there's nothing about Nebraska that says, "Hey, watch out, this could be a team." There's nothing about Nebraska that says that. and then they went into Nebraska. Scum went into Nebraska, and it looks like they kicked. They look, if you just look at the box score, it looks like they kicked Nebraska's face mask off. But that's not what happened there. That was a pretty boring game. It was pretty evenly matched. It was 3 big runs that Nebraska gave up, and they shouldn't have gave up those runs. They shouldn't have gave that up, but they did.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do that against Ohio State.
Hope
Our
not.
guys are the talent difference between us and Nebraska is monumental.
David, there was a talent gap between us and the Scum last year.
Oh yeah.
And
I think
we still stubbed our toe. We still stubbed our toe at home. Am I bitter? Yeah, I'm still bitter about it. But that's why.
Yeah, that was totally on Ryan Day. That was totally on Ryan Day, not willing to change his game plan. He could have changed that. He could have done that for 3 quarters, or it didn't work. You know what? 4th quarter, let's throw the ball and let's go win this ball game. But that didn't happen. Instead, you know what? We win a natty. I'll take it. And as far as Washington, man, I've been worried about this game for a while now.
Yeah,
Washington's offense is absolutely. They've got dudes that are going to be 1st round draft picks all day long.
Listen to these stats, guys. Damon Williams Jr. He's 50 of 68 passing for 778 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also has ran the football 34 times for 220 yards and 2 scores. Jonah Coleman, the preseason Big Ten first-team running back that they have, 51 carries for 347 yards and 9 touchdowns. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he's 2nd on the team in receiving with 8 catches for 150 yards and a score. Denzel Boston, their number 1 wide receiver, 16 catches, 249 yards, and 3 scores. This offense is high octane. Those 3 guys are really, really good. This defense that Ohio State has, David, it's going to be challenged this Saturday. We're going to find out how good this defense really is in Seattle against this football team that they are bringing out onto the field there in Seattle. This is a big time game, and this is a top 25 team. I don't care what the AP and coaches poll say about Washington. This is a top 25 team, and they've got a 22 game home winning streak on the line here. So it's a big time game, David.
Yeah, it is a big time game, and just the way we play coming off a bye week it worries me that we had a bye week before we go play this game, and it's on the road. It's one of the toughest places to play. Washington's offense is probably the best looking offense I've seen all year. That offense is scary good. Now their defense is absolute dog water.
Yes, I was about to.
Their defense is trash.
Washington wants this game to be a shootout. That's exactly what Washington wants.
This thing exactly. This thing is probably going to be a doggone shootout, and don't be surprised whoever gets the ball last wins this ball game. This is one of those ball games, but I have a feeling, our defense is a lot better than. I think we have the best defense in the country. Washington very may well have the best offense in the country, well, from what I've seen. But
if we can stop their run, and we can contain Demond and make him throw the football and make him try to beat us with his arm, I think we're going to be fine defensively. So this is going to be a really interesting football game from that perspective. If our defense comes out, David, and we dominate defensively in this game, dude, that's a really telling sign on how good this Ohio State team is. Because this is a really good offense. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to see that playbook is going to get opened up big time this week, guys. You guys have been waiting all year for this playbook to get opened up. You're going to see everybody's going to get a shot at the ball this week. Everybody. They're going to spread that thing around like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm telling you. Everybody's going to be involved this week. The playbook gets opened up because we're going to need to score on basically every possession.
Hopefully not.
You're going to basically need to score on every possession because Washington's offense is the real deal. It is the biggest threat. And anybody worried about USC, and USC isn't that much better than Nebraska. Matter of fact, USC and Michigan are probably about on par. Neither one of them are that scary. And the fact that Washington, you hit on the fact that Washington isn't ranked is crazy to me. That they're not ranked.
It's criminal.
It's just I don't even know how that could even be possible. But I'm glad we got teams in there that got like one win, and yet they're still somehow ranked. My gosh. Clemson.
Oh my brother. Oh my.
Clemson. Things are bad. Bad things are going on in Clemson right now. And let me just real quick before I get off here. Let me mention Dabo and his little rant last week.
Sure.
All right. If you listen to the very beginning of that rant, right, he's talking about the athletic director. I think the athletic director and him had a little talk last week, and I don't think it went very well. And I think he was complaining about, and that's why Dabo went off on a rant about athletic directors and how many athletic directors would like to be at a minimum 9-3 every year. After about 5 minutes of that, I turned it off. I'm like, okay, he's just repeating himself.
Yeah.
And I think he had a little talk with it got pulled to the athletic director's office, and they had a little talk about the way things were going. And that whatever temperature was on that hot seat, man, that thing just got cranked up. Now, I think Syracuse is a pretty decent football team, but dude, Clemson, you can't lose to that's things are bad. Things are bad in Clemson.
Yeah.
Things are not good at Clemson, and Dabo is probably going to be looking for another job at the end of this year.
Yes, he is. All right, Dave, we got to keep her moving. I got a full bank of calls, brother. I appreciate you calling in, my man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you taking my call. Thanks.
Yep. Have a good one. OH.
Hi-oh!
Dude, it's so bad in Clemson, South Carolina right now that they just renamed Clemson, South Carolina, East Palestine, South Carolina, because it's a train wreck. Was that a bad joke? I thought it was going to be funny, but no one's laughing. Oh well. Back to the phone lines we go, everybody. Oh, I know who this buddy is. It's my buddy. It's the producer of the Buckeye Ladies and the producer of the Buckeye Lounge. How's it going tonight, Vader?
Hey Podfather, it's Vader. How's it going? By the way, thanks for the shout out in last night's show. I only wrote 2 things because I know my first comment you will probably have some follow-up questions. I'll try to type answers to your questions quickly, I promise.
Excellent. Go for it then. Let's do it.
Here is my constitutional argument why we must fight to get the wins from 2010 back. Federal Law 42 USC of 1983 basically says no government or private organization can dictate how anyone can use personal property. Article 6 Clause 2 is the supremacy clause. This basically created a pecking order for laws, but in 1824 the Supreme Court ruled this also applied to national organizations' rules, finding they couldn't make any rules in conflict with federal laws or the construction. Which means the NCAA rules were never just or constitutional. I asked a friend who clerked for a Supreme Court justice back when this all went down if Ohio State would have fought this, would we have won? He said absolutely, but it wouldn't have gotten emergency status, so it would have taken years to settle. I maintain Gene Smith didn't want to fight it because he wanted to be the guy that saved the day by getting Urban Meyer. I believe we not only need to make this right for the players and Coach Tressel, whose rights were violated and were unjustly punished. We must also do this for two reasons. First, we know the NCAA is going to die. They have no purpose, so whatever governing body comes next must be sent a message by all of college football. If they don't govern justly and fairly, they will be challenged. Second, we need to do this for our Constitution and America. I understand Wildman completely. On the surface, he is absolutely standing up for the right thing, but sometimes below the surface there is a bigger right thing to stand up for. I believe this is especially important to do right now. I also want to say somewhere my dad is smiling. I finally used those law classes he paid for that I never did anything with. LOL.
Okay. All right. Dude, you need to email that to me. That whole thing you just stated. You need to email that to me, because after last night's show, Chris and I are going to have a steel cage match. I am sick and tired of him arguing with me about this topic. And it's going to happen. And you just gave me legal precedence, which, him being a law student as well, is he's going to bow down to that. So Vader, you just gave me massive ammunition that I need for this debate that Chris and I are going to have. And so I'm going to need that, man. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Wow, there's a lot to that. And what was really interesting about that, you were right. I have a lot to say after that. What was really interesting about that is the little theory you threw in there about why Gene Smith was willing to do this, because he wanted to go out and get Urban Meyer. You're not the first person that has said that before, and I had forgotten about that. That's a great off-season topic that we really need to dive into and listen to, because and talk about, because that right there is very, very interesting. Okay, what's your next comment, brother?
I think this week's game is going to be together than Buckeye fans think. Washington has a dynamic dual threat quarterback. He can run and pass almost equally well. They also have a high-level running back and one good big play receiver. We also have to go west, which is never easy. It messes up your routine and your internal clock. We're also coming off a bye week. We never look sharp at first. It usually takes a quarter to find a rhythm and shake off the rust. We also have to deal with one of the best home field advantage in college football. It's going to be loud for say in first road game. Here's the good news, Buckeye Nation. Washington defense is bad. I mean worse than Ohio University bad. Their run defense is soft. Against the pass, they play almost exclusively man, which with our receivers and their talent levels is suicide. I have the Buckeyes winning 42-17. My Week 4 recap. Indiana is legit. Illinois, I don't want to even talk about it. Dabo might need a padded room soon. Oklahoma might be scary good, and Nebraska let me down big time. I remember when Nebraska could do things like tackle and block.
Yeah, I remember that as well. Yes. Yeah, those are good takes, brother. Those are some really, really good takes, man. Guys, Vader has a new position with us that you all will find out very, very soon. Super excited for what he and I have been working on behind the scenes. Hopefully, next week we'll be able to announce it. That's my hope. And when we do, I think you all are going to be super excited, because Vader has a big, big part and what we're going to be presenting to all of you here at the OHIO podcast. So stay tuned for that. Vader, thank you so much for your phone call. Is there anything else, brother? I really enjoyed that tonight. Those were great takes. He's typing it up.
OH.
IO, have a good one. Appreciate you, buddy. That was Buck Vader, everybody. Yeah, super stoked to let you all know the big news here. Hopefully, in about a week, we'll be able to share with everybody what's going on here at the OHIO podcast. And yeah, it's some big time news. It involves everybody. It really does. But we're all super excited about it. Okay. Wow, there was a lot to unpack there. I really want to dive into that Gene Smith stuff. That would be very interesting to find the real truth behind all of that. And yeah, Vader's 100% right. Washington offensively is very dynamic. They're very soft defensively. They want this game to be a shootout with the Buckeyes. If we can force them into punting the football, more than they want to. I mean, this is the kind of team they're going to go for it on fourth down quite a bit. If it's fourth and third or shorter from about their 40 on, they're going to go for it. They have a very dynamic running game, and their quarterback dual threat. He runs the RPO very well. He's pretty accurate, but he's deadly with his legs. He right now is one of the better quarterbacks in the conference statistically, right there with Julian. So, and the quarterback from Indiana. All right, back to the phone lines. Great call. What's up, Tyler?
Oh, what's going on, Eric?
Oh, just another Monday night talking to my friends.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing some thinking, Eric.
Okay.
So, you know how everyone, I understand why everyone's thinking that Washington is I'm going to give them credit. They have a good offense. But, again, this goes back to who you played, though, too.
Sure. Yes, but even in those games where they've played, Colorado State is not a bad program. And Washington State is the rival, and Washington State beat them last year. Okay, don't forget that.
Yes.
The Cougars beat the Huskies last year, and the Huskies put a whooping on them this year. So this is.
And
Go ahead.
they put up 24 points on Washington, Eric.
I know that.
I was going to get.
Yeah. And trust me,
I was thinking
they are concerned. They are
ahead.
very concerned about Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, and this offense, especially the wide receiver weapons. I just got done recording the interview portion of Wednesday night's preview with a podcaster from Sound the Siren, our Washington sister podcast on the College Huddle. They are incredibly concerned that Ohio State is going to outscore them because of our weapons. And they know they haven't played a caliber defense like they've played in Ohio State. But they are banking on two things. Number one, Julian getting rattled because it's his first game on the road in a very hostile, loud environment that's going to be ready for the big one. 22 straight home wins, Tyler. They have 22 straight. That includes wins over Oregon, who went to the playoffs. Okay. They have a running game that can suck the clock, shorten the game. So if they get in a shootout with us and they're moving the football and they can manage that clock at the end of the game, if they can get a lead, that's a bad recipe for Ohio State. That's what they're banking on. That's why defensively it is critical. We start the game by getting them to punt the football. If we can get a 3 and out, or they only get one, a first down, maybe 2 at the most, and then they have to punt, and it's a lower scoring game in the first quarter, and it gives Julian the chance to get acclimated to the environment and shake some of that bye week rust off, we're going to be just fine. But if they come out hot offensively, talking about Washington, Tyler, this thing could get hairy.
And I agree, Eric. I agree. But here's where I have a problem, though.
Sure.
So they have 3 weapons. They have 3. Jonah Coleman, Damon Williams, and Denzel Boston. 3. 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with this defense, who, like David said, is the best in the nation, in my opinion. You got Caleb Downs, you got Arbel Reese, you got Sonny Styles, you got Davidson Igmanos. I'm just gonna, but this is the best defense Washington's played. So, and defense travels. And what also travels is a good run game.
Yes.
So, one solution to that is keeping their offense on the sidelines, Eric.
Yes.
So, if it were me, I would just keep giving the ball to Bo Jackson all day long. See if they can stop him. Because Colorado State was able to run on them. And Ryan Walters runs man coverage. Now, I'm no football genius, Eric, but nobody wants to run man coverage against these receivers. It's just me, but I'm just it don't sound like a recipe for success if I'm Ryan Walters and Jed Fish.
It's not going to be easy for them. They know that. But it's not impossible either, if that makes sense.
Because you could run man coverage on these receivers. They have 6 foot. Their corners are 6'4", right?
Yeah, well, one of their corners is injured and not sure if he's going to play or not, which would be a big blow to them if he doesn't. Let me look up his name for you real fast. Tacario Davis. He's their top corner, and he got injured last week against Washington State. He's 6'4", 200 pounds.
So, if you're Ryan Walters and your game plan is man coverage, who are you going to line up against Jeremiah Smith?
Well, it would be him if he's playing.
Well, right now, if he's not, let's just say he's not playing, Eric.
They're in trouble.
For all intents and purposes.
They're in trouble. Defensively they have holes, dude. That's why I said they want a shootout. They want a shootout.
Now, what's the solution to a shootout, Eric?
They have to score more points than us.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. Until they could do what Oregon did, but Oregon had far more talent across their entire offense compared to Washington. Washington just had 3 guys. If Jonah Coleman, this is the guy I am specific. If we stop Jonah Coleman and Damon Williams from running, I think we win this game.
That's why I said game over. If we can stop the run against them, it's game over. They will have to try to beat us, with his arm, and he's got a great arm, but our corners are really good, and eventually he's gonna make a mistake.
And he's also 5'11", Eric.
Julian Saint's 5'11",
190 pounds.
He's a lot more dynamic though.
Yeah, I know, but if Orville Reese or Sonny Styles get a clean shot on him.
Yeah, I hear you. That's another concern they have, bro. Like, literally, Hooligan, when I interviewed him, says he's got to slide. He goes, he loves to fight for extra yards and be physical, and he goes, this is not the game for him to do that. He gets knocked out, it's lights out. It's game over.
And so I'm telling you, Damon Williams, you better slide, because you do not want to take a clean shot from Sonny Styles or Orville Reese or Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
It's going to be on it.
They'll knock him out.
Jalen McClain.
Yeah, Jalen McClain's got the hit of the year right now. And yeah, they'll knock him out of the game, dude. They will knock him out of the game if he doesn't get down. He's a very physical guy, but they have not played people like, Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, who were cut from a very different cloth than the defenders he's played in Colorado State and last year in the Louisville game, in the bowl game, which was his coming out party, or last week against the Washington State Cougars. He's not seen people like Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, who are as big and as fast and as physical as they are. You're 100% right, Tyler. But I don't think we have seen a quarterback as dynamic as DeMond is. We haven't seen that yet.
I understand. If Matt Patricia contains him, and like we do the cage rush, right? We put Spy up. Now I'm not an expert on their offensive line or anything, but I don't think their offensive line has a seat up front like ours either. I'm going to be honest, they haven't. So can they block our front? Can they block Bo Atkinson? Can they block Aiden McDonald? I don't know.
They're obviously going to have to try. Yeah, this is a really interesting game, guys. And as Tyler and I work our way through kind of like the questioning of all of this, I'm here to tell you this is a great test for this defense and for Matt Patricia. If Matt Patricia and this defense comes out, Tyler, and we shut the door on Washington, we keep them under 20 points, this defense is for real. Like, for real. Like, national championship level for real.
I predict we're only giving up 17 points, Eric. I just don't see them scoring more than 17 points.
Well, Vader said 42-17, so you're right there with him.
Because there's only so much you can do with only 3 people, Eric. Like, there's 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense. I mean, if my math ain't... I'm not a math genius, Eric, but 3 is less than 11.
Last time I checked, that is true. That is true, Tyler.
So, I mean, what double team on Denzel Boston? See if he can be a double team of Igvinosin and Caleb Downs. Hey, I'll tip my cap and be like, hey, you are a top receiver. But if he can't, then I'll be like, well, I'll be like, okay, well, you proved my point. If Jonah Coleman can run on this defense, I'll be like, I'll tip my cap and say, hey, like, you're one of the best. But You have 51 carries already, and it's not even the end of September.
Yeah.
Like
through 3 games, they've really rode those guys. You're right, Tyler. But it's only been 3 games, so.
I know, but it's still though. If you're an offense that's supposedly the caliber that everyone's saying is the best in the Big Ten right now, which is, let's say hypothetically, wouldn't you be able to, if Joey Coleman is that guy, he would be breaking runs all day long. Because when I think of him running, I think of Justice Haynes against Nebraska. But speaking of Nebraska, you have the worst tackling defense I've ever seen.
Coleman has 51 carries for 347 yards, 9 scores for a 6.8 yard average. Tyler, that's pretty good.
That's
pretty good. Now, if he is half that against Ohio State, then it's a different ball game, right? Let's say he's only averaging 3.4 yards per carry against the Buckeyes. Then Ohio State has done their job up front. They've done their job up front. Let's not even talk about Nebraska, Tyler. I'm tired of giving the Cornhuskers any more space on these airwaves. They don't deserve to be talked about after that performance. They don't.
Exactly.
They don't. All right, Tyler, it's been over 11 minutes, but I got a full queue. Anything else, my man?
Oh, no, Eric, I just wanted to tell you, you do a great job.
Appreciate you, my man. Thank you for your services as the wrench. We'll see you in the chat. I-O. That was Tyler. Let's go to Ray. Ray, what's going on tonight, buddy?
How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great, Ray. Thank you for asking.
I'll tell you, I watched that game Saturday, and
Yep.
it made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, it did. Me too.
I never seen linebackers and safeties so far out of position. I could have run that into the end zone, that first one, that 36-yard run by the quarterback.
Yeah.
There's nobody around him for 20 yards.
They got so confused, Ray. That defense was so out of position. They fell for every one of the pre-snap motions that offense ran, and they literally were creating holes in their defense just with pre-snap motion. That's all they were doing.
Well, you seen the second one, another 75-yard run. My goodness, the safety comes up and makes a lame excuse for trying to tackle the guy, and he goes clear to the end zone. And then the third one was about the same way. I can't understand it. I mean, Nebraska had been killing everybody, and they can't beat that team. That team isn't that good.
Nebraska's not even worth talking about right now. That was terrible, terrible defensive play. Ray, I'm yelling at the screen. They're going to run, and Nebraska fell for all of the pre-snap eye candy, and they literally just ran it. They knew
going in that all Michigan does is try to pound the ball down your throat.
You would think.
It's a disgrace for the Big Ten. They couldn't beat that team.
Yeah, you would think. I think Michigan State has better odds of beating Michigan than Nebraska with that game plan. That was disgusting.
Yeah.
And Ray, I don't know if Indiana's for real or not, but Illinois looked awful. Oh, they looked awful.
Yeah, I seen it. Indiana just crushed them. You know what? We're lucky we don't have to play Indiana. Michigan don't play them either, but they do play Penn State and Oregon in Indiana.
Yeah.
So we'll find out when they play Penn State and Oregon just how good they really are.
Yeah, 100%. Yep, I agree with that. Yep, we'll find out how good they are.
That's what I don't like about the conference. So look at the games Michigan's got. I mean, they might not lose another game until maybe when they go to Southern Cal and Washington. Are you kidding me? They've beaten people by 40, 50 points, and they're not ranked?
Yeah, Washington, they're a top.
How can you not be in the top 25? They're a top 15 team at least.
They're a top. They are a good football team. I don't know why they're not ranked. I have no idea.
I'm telling you, Eric, I'm scared for this game. I'm scared. I'm scared because I think you're looking at a 38-35 game.
Who do you think wins?
I'm hoping us, but I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. I know all you guys, those last two guys, think they're going to win 42-17. It's not going to. It's going to be a lot closer than that. They're not. They're underestimating just how great this offense is.
They're good offense, but they are a really bad defense.
If your defense is great as they say it is, we'll find out this week.
Yes, exactly.
This week will be the real test.
Exactly. It's a great test. You're 100% right. We're gonna find out how good this defense is this week. If we're for real and we hold them to 17 points or less, Ray, we're a national championship caliber defense. 100%.
Yeah, I just don't know because all the seniors last year and they went up to Oregon and stunk it up. And this is about the same. What day are they going to go out there?
I think Thursday.
Well, I hope so. I hear the weather's going to be dry, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I'm too busy working.
Look at the forecast right now.
All right.
I don't think there's any rain in the forecast because Seattle's a wild place. And one thing I don't like about Corey and that other guy that was on there last night, bragging his quarterback up a million times over, and he hasn't even been on the road yet. We're going to find out your quarterback. Can he really play under a team that's 50,000 or 60,000, 70,000, whatever it is? They're louder than hell. We're going to find out just how good he is.
Yep. Saturday's forecast for Seattle, Washington, partly cloudy, high of 70. Pretty nice day.
No wind or what?
Oh, I didn't look for. Yeah, it's going to be a little windy. I'm
look
sure.
Look and see if it's windy because that's a bad omen if the wind's blowing because then your quarterback can't throw quite as good.
Yeah, let's.
I'm hoping it ain't real windy.
Let's find out here.
Little things like that really make a difference.
Only 8-mile-per-hour winds out of the north.
That's great.
Yeah,
we're all right then.
Yeah,
so now we're going to find out. Corey and that other guy, we're going to find out that it's nice to win at home, but it's a different ball game when you go on the road and you got screaming loud fans on the other side against you.
Yeah, you do. It's gonna be a hostile environment. They've won 22 straight home games. Ohio State's gonna have to earn it. Ohio State's gonna have to. Yeah, Washington's on a 22-game home win streak, buddy.
How many years is that? Maybe 4 or 5 years since they lost it.
3 years.
3.
Yeah. So it goes back to when it goes back to when they first hired Caleb DeBoer, who's the Alabama coach now. Caleb.
Hey, look at the Bullies schedule. Who they got left?
You called it. USC. They have Wisconsin next. Wisconsin's dog poo.
When does that? Are they both got a bye week this week? The Bullies play it all this week.
I think they're on a bye. Let me look up for you real fast.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I think they're on a bye.
Yeah, they're on a bye this week.
Wisconsin ain't gonna be no man, huh?
They're on a bye this week, and then they play Wisconsin, and then they go to USC, and then they host Washington, and then they go to Michigan State before they get another bye. So that's
Washington's better than I thought they were going to be. They could go up there and beat the Bullies.
Yeah, they could because
Southern Cal could beat them. I'm just hoping we can get 3 or 4 losses on them before we have to play them because, as much as everybody wants to say this, if you go back the 4 years they have beaten us, they've had big plays off us every year. Big plays.
Yeah.
We've got to eliminate the big plays. I mean, we got a great safety there. We're going to find out how great he is because they're going to keep when you go up to Ann Arbor, they're going to try to pound the ball right down your throat because it's going to be November 29th. You're probably going to have snow flurries. It's probably going to be cold, and they're going to keep pounding the ball, thinking, "Well, we can break a big one sooner or later."
Yep.
Like, that's what they did the last 4 years on us.
Yeah.
They'll pound it and pound it. If you go back to the 13-10 game, I know we didn't get the offense, it was terrible. But what they do at the end, we got that interception, and they pounded it right down our throat when we had to punt the ball.
Yep.
They pounded it right down our throat. We had all them seniors. So I want to see how good this team is this week.
You're right, Ray. This is going to be a great litmus test in this game, man. It's going to be a great litmus test to find out not only how good our defense is, but how good this offense can be in a hostile environment. Now, Washington defensively is bad, but that defense is going to have a very, very loud crowd behind them, so that can help them out.
We got to see how he. Hey, before I leave you,
yeah,
I went through a lot of hell for 4 or 5 months. I finally ended the court deal. I give my daughter 4 more months to move out. They owe me $20,000, and this judge actually ruled that I get kicked out of my own house with cops, run me out of here a week ago with my son and my daughter to come back to my house 4 months, and I'm selling my house and moving to Arizona. I made up my mind about that, but I got to have eye surgery on both my eyes for cataracts, and it's been frustrating the last 4 or 5 months for me. So just pray for me. I'm hoping for a big victory this week for us Buckeye fans. And God bless you. Keep praying for me. I'll pray for you, Eric. And OH.
Thank you for phone call, Ray. That was Ray. Ray Berger, everybody. He's the living legend. Yeah, dude, this Washington game is gonna be very, very interesting, guys. There's a lot going on there. Good night, baby. I see your post. I'll try to be quiet and sneak into bed quietly so I don't wake you up. All right, let's head back to the phone lines here. Let's see who we got. I wasn't up on who's calling in next. Oh, let's see if he's awake this week. Shrockstar, did you fall asleep?
Nope, I'm awake this time, my brother.
That's a good thing, man. Oh, that was one of the best moments on the college show of all time. Is you literally fell asleep with your phone up by your face. Oh man, that's how exciting the college show was last week.
I have to give Coconut a big thumbs up for calling me and waking me up.
Get up, dude. Get up.
He's like, dude, he's calling you. What happened? I was like, oh, man. He's like, you fell asleep, didn't you? I'm like, yeah. Oh, well.
Man,
It happens.
Sean, I had a really, really interesting interview with this Washington podcaster, man. And I asked him some really tough questions, and his answers were very, very interesting. We talk about Ryan Day. We talk about how they view Ohio State. We talked about what it's going to take for them to beat Ohio State. This is a moment in time for their program, Sean, where just like Oregon a year ago when we went to Eugene and they circled this and it was like, if we're going to make a statement in this conference, if we're going to take the next step that we need to take, we need to beat a team like Ohio State. And that's how they treated that game. It was kind of like their Super Bowl. It's the exact same way Washington's looking at this game Saturday. Exactly.
Well, if you look last year, they made a statement by beating Michigan. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
you
but
beat one of the Blue
Michigan
Bloods
last year, if you remember when they beat
there.
Michigan, Sean, last year the Wolverines had they weren't. No one expected them to be. Michigan last year, everybody thought they were exactly who they were, other than the fact that they won those last 2 games, right?
Yeah.
They weren't that great. They were 7-5 team. They were a 7-5 team. They were 6-5 before they won those last 2 games. And so, but the way that Washington viewed Michigan a year ago and how they view us is completely different. And
I understand. I'm just saying they're making noise. Like I'm not taking them lightly because last year they came in, they beat Michigan, and they were competitive with everybody else. So I mean, they haven't been getting blown out. I'm just telling everybody to pump the brakes on their defense gave up some yards to, Colorado State. So, I mean, I think people need to pump the brakes a little bit, thinking they're the best offense in the league right now. Just, look at their schedule, who they played, and they had issues with Colorado State, gave them issues.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think what we need to do, what's very important is when we go up there, if we go on defense first, 3 and out, and we get a quick score, and let's take the crowd out of the game.
Yes.
If we need to run the ball, play good defense, good special teams, but get the running game going. Take a little bit of pressure off of Julian if you have to, so he doesn't have to try to do too much being amped up. Let's get Bo Jackson going.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. I really want to see Bo early and often, as they say. If this offensive line can establish the line of scrimmage, and listen, you all know who their defensive coordinator is, don't you?
It's Ryan
Walters.
Walters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great defensive coordinator. And Jed Fish is a great offensive mind. And I was telling Tyler and a couple other people, I said, that's the guy Michigan should have hired instead of Sharon Moore, honestly, because he's got Michigan ties.
Yeah, he coached at Michigan.
I mean, that should have been the guy. Yeah, that should have been the guy that they hired, but thank God they didn't. But, I mean, you saw he went all out last year to beat Michigan to prove a point, and he didn't hold no punches back and, just pulling out the gadget plays. So they need to be ready, man. He's a great offensive mind, and he will, he'll dial up anything. He will be very, very aggressive.
Ooh. Guess where his alma mater? Guess where Jed Fish's alma mater is? I did not know this. Guess where he went to school?
High school or college?
College. He graduated in '98 from this university.
Did he go to Michigan?
No. He went to Florida.
Florida.
Uh-huh. That could be interesting. Because they're going to be looking for a head coach, man. I did not know that.
Don't count Billy out yet down there. They did that last year, and that quarterback got hot. So, I mean, they started out slow last year and finished good. So I'm not going to count Billy Napier out yet. I mean, he is a Saban disciple, so.
I'm looking for what his buyout would be. $12 million.
Because, hey, Jed Fish is undefeated. He had Arizona undefeated.
Yeah. You want a resume builder? Just say, I won at Arizona. Right?
Yeah. I mean, he had those guys undefeated, and them boosters and stuff were very, very upset with him because they gave him quite a bit of money, and he hightailed it out there with Washington. They took a lot of those Arizona guys with them. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the running back. That's where he came from. Jonah Coleman was a recruit to Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
I was kind of surprised last year that he won as much as he did in Washington because all those guys left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they barely had anybody back from that Washington team. I think there might have been two or three starters from their team that made it to the national championship game.
Yeah, and they won.
That was it.
They won every single home game last year. All the games they lost were on the road. They were like 6-0 at home and 0-6 on the road or something like that, or 1-5 or something like that last year on the road. They really struggled on the road, but they were awesome at home. So this is not going to be easy. If this game was in the shoe, I would be a lot more confident. I'm just going to say that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michigan better worry because they got to go to Washington's coming up to Ann Arbor.
Yep. After
USC
Michigan goes
doesn't
to
look
USC.
That either,
So Michigan goes out to West Coast and they play USC first, and then they come back and they get Washington. If Michigan ain't careful, they might lose 2 in a row.
Yeah. But I tell you what, though, it just surprises me how easy of a schedule like Michigan has, and I don't think Indiana really plays anybody. I think they might play Penn State.
Indiana Indiana goes to Oregon and to Penn State. They have to go to both of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's rough. That's rough.
But I tell you what, though, man, I was very impressed with them.
Yeah.
Their defense was tenacious. That Mendoza might be the most underrated portal get of the year, that quarterback that they got.
I'll tell you who. I'll go one step further. He's the second most important portal get. They got the first. It's the center they got from Notre Dame. That kid is a Remington Trophy award-winning center, dude. He led that offensive line for Notre Dame last year, and they let him go because were getting their starting center back this year, and now all of a sudden I bet they wish they had that kid. He's good, and he is leading that offensive line for Indiana.
Why didn't they just move one of them to guard? How hard is that to do?
You
know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Chris would argue it's because Marcus Freeman's an idiot. It's what Chris would say.
Okay. I tell you what, is Nebraska fraudulent or are they fraudulent?
If you look up the definition of fool's gold, it's got a picture of Dylan Raiola.
I'm so glad he decommitted. Oh, I'm so glad he decommitted and went elsewhere, that he didn't come here.
You know, the most Dylan Raiola thing to do would be to hit the transfer portal at the end of this year. He played for 4 different high schools. He was committed to Ohio State, decommitted, committed to Georgia, decommitted, committed to Nebraska. The kid obviously has serious commitment issues. I wonder how many girlfriends he has had so far at Lincoln.
Who knows?
I tell you that.
I tell you, the Big Ten is so stacked this year, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how many teams we get in the playoffs. Honestly,
I think it's 4.
Because there's going to be a lot of teams with like 2 losses or 1 loss. You know, I think there'll be a couple with 1 loss. I think there'll be a couple with 2 losses.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I've been saying for a long time, 10 and you're in, and I think that there could be. What if there's 5 Big Ten teams with 10 wins? Could they put 5 Big Ten teams into the college football playoff?
I think it all depends on the other, everywhere else, what everybody else has got. Well, they're going to have to go by like strength of schedule.
I'm telling you right now, there's no reason to put 2 teams in from the Big 12. Mark it down right now. Texas Tech is the only team from the Big 12 that deserves a college football playoff. They're good.
I'm going to tell you something. When I was watching, TCU is a dark horse in that conference.
Okay.
I like what I saw from them. I like the quarterback, and they got a receiver that's a stud, and their defense is very, like the way they fly around and they're aggressive. They really gave it to SMU. I was kind of surprised. I thought SMU would win that game, and TCU took it to them. So I'm just going to tell people, just watch TCU as a dark horse in the Big 12.
Well, if anybody's going to challenge Texas Tech, it will have to be TCU, because that Texas Tech team, man, they are legit, and they have thrown so much money at that program. You all need to do yourselves a favor. Go look up the video of their facility. It is immaculate. It's the best.
Their starting quarterback went down, and they didn't miss a beat.
No, the backup came in and crushed them. He played better than the starter did.
Yeah.
And I think he's a freshman, if I'm not mistaken, or redshirt freshman 1. Yeah, he looked great.
They spent all that money in the transfer portal. Then they started spending money in recruiting now. So they got that oil money. So
Hey,
Look
man,
out.
you can't take it with you when you're gone. You might as well spend it on college football, right?
I mean, look at all those guys down there. I mean, A&M always throws money around. I mean, Texas is throwing money around. I mean, all those guys down there. I mean, even SMU, they even got some donors back there throwing some money around too. So I mean, that's wild down there, man. It's like that show from the '80s, Dallas, with all the oil barons,
Yeah, yeah. Who shot Jerry or what was it? What was it? I forget his
Jr.
JR. Yeah, who shot JR? We're showing our age right now. Ty said Tyler again.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm staring at Tyler's picture right now on the screen. This is the thing. When you call Sean, Tyler cannot type in the chat. That's the new rule. We're just establishing a new rule. When Sean calls, Tyler, you have to be quiet in the chat.
Can we make a new rule? Caden has to be quiet too.
Oh gosh. All right, dude. I gotta
Caden,
ask.
stop bullying people.
He.
Thanks for taking my call, brother. I
You're
appreciate
welcome,
it. Hey,
man.
shout out to Vader. He called tonight, man. The dude, he brought the fire tonight, man.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
He's giving me ammo.
And,
He's giving me ammo for my argument with Chris. It's gonna go down, dude.
hey, I want to give a little teaser to the people listening too. We'll talk about all these wins winding back. Well, we're gonna have someone on the podcast on the lounge, Mr. Boom Heron, who is he might have a thing or two to say about them wins. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, exactly. He might have a thing or two to say. That's a great topic to bring up with him.
And tomorrow, guys, we're gonna have a special guest. We're gonna have Japheth and Clark Milrow on. If you remember when I was part of the Buckeye Boys, we brought Clark on. Clark's the little kid that has the San Filippo disease, and everybody pitched in so he could go to the Tennessee game. And his dad and him are going to come on. Clark's a super cool kid, a great family, and they're going to give us an update of how the treatments are going, and going to just tell us about their experience at the national championship game and all the playoff games they got to go to last year.
What's
so
his dad's name?
It's going to be kind of an update.
What's his dad's name again?
What's that?
What's his dad's name again?
Japheth.
Japheth? Cool.
And he goes by Brutus Stark on X. So a lot of you might know him as Brutus Stark on X. He's a big Iron Man fan. So
cool. Awesome, dude.
They will be on tomorrow. Thanks, brother.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad you're doing that, man. That's awesome, Tyler. Good decision on your part, brother.
Sean, not Tyler.
Gosh, darn! I'm done. I quit. I quit.
No, I've been keeping in touch with them, and I just thought we should give an update, and I thought it'd be a cool time to do it and talk some football with them. And they've been going to Minnesota to get these treatments, and they said it's been working well for them. So,
do they drive out there every single time? Do they have to drive?
They fly.
They fly. Okay.
They've been flying. Yep.
Good. Yeah, I'm super stoked about that, Sean. I'm really looking forward to it, man. By the way, was it your daughter's birthday?
No.
Okay.
Her birthday's not till January.
Okay. I saw you where you made a post. I didn't know if it was for her birthday or not. But
I took her to Waffle House after her volleyball games. They kicked butt in one of their volleyball games. They haven't lost yet. So.
Really? They're undefeated, huh?
Undefeated, yep. Doing good.
Awesome, dude. Well, congratulations, man. That's awesome. Looking forward to tomorrow night's show. So go check that out, everybody. 8:00 Eastern tomorrow night, right here on the OHO podcast. You can find Sean and you can find TG at the Buckeye Lounge. Going to be a really cool show tomorrow. Thanks for calling in, brother. OH.
Oh, no problem. IO. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Some sucks.
Tyler, you broke your rule. You typed again, and then I said it again. God, stop that, man. Corey trying to mess me up on purpose the other day. So bad at that. Sorry, Sean. All right. Good evening, Mika.
Hey, Podfather.
How are you?
What's up? Good, how are you?
Good. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you right off the bat your thoughts on Jeremiah Smith's little brother coming to Ohio State.
I love him. I know everyone's big thing is that he's small, but he's got time to grow into his body, and even though he's small, he plays very, very physical, and he does a great job mirroring wide receivers. I think he gets that from playing football with his brother over the years. I don't know, but I'm just guessing. I think he's an underrated guy, and I'm very excited that he decided to be a Buckeye.
Yeah, I like to see that. Now I do have one concern, and that is I hope he doesn't end up with the Marcus Hooker, experience. Meaning,
Yeah,
Marcus Hooker was the younger brother of what's his first name? I forget his first name. Malik Hooker. Thank you. And he just, his brother had such a big impact on the defense, went to the NFL, and I just think he struggled to fill his older brother's shoes. I hope that doesn't happen for him because listen, Jeremiah Smith might end up being the greatest wide receiver in Ohio State history.
I honestly think that they're similar personality-wise, though, and that's going to help. He's going to be a head-down type of work ethic kid, and I think that's going to really help him.
Yeah, I hope so. I also think it helps that he plays on the opposite side of the ball, so the expectations aren't going to be the same. So where
he also played a little at wideout. So
yeah. Do you think he's coming in to play safety though?
I think he could play safety or corner depending on how he grows.
Oh, okay. But defense, I got you. All right. All right, Mika. This is a big game this week. Are you nervous at all?
Not really, honestly.
Really?
I think Matty Peel have us ready. They ain't played a defense like us before, and I think our running game and our linebackers will be the key to this one. We have very active linebackers, and I think that's going to be a key. I think we're going to spy the quarterback, and everything will be fine.
Well, I think that if you're going to spy the quarterback, kind of leave yourself a little bit vulnerable to the RPO though in doing that. And they do run it really well.
I know, but I think Matty Peel have us very active in the secondary too.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting one way or the other. We're going to find out if this defense is legit or not. And I hope they are, because this is a big time game. The last thing we want to do is drop this game. It's the last thing we want to have happen. With games against Penn State and team up north out ahead of you, a trip to Champaign, Illinois, and I know that all of a sudden that game's got a little bit of the shine taken off of it with how bad Illinois played against Indiana. But this is interesting. 22 game home win streak is what they've got going on there, Mika. 22 straight.
I know it's going to be a tough test, but I think it might be rough early, but I think we will wake up and get it done.
Okie dokie. I'm glad you feel that way. Any worries about Julian Sane in a hostile environment?
No, I think he'll, like I said, I think he might be a little shaky early, but I think we'll get him settled down. Defense will be key in this game, though.
Yes.
And the running game.
Yes. I agree with that. Do you think Ryan Day is going to approach this thing very similar to Texas and kind of play close to the vest and not really just open it up, or do you think he's going to be like, yeah, let's go balls to the wall offensively and let's just score as many as we can and let Julian be Superman here?
I'm sorry, what was the question? You broke up there
Do you think,
in the middle of it.
yeah, do you think Ryan Day is going to be aggressive on offense, or do you think he'll be a little bit more conservative?
I think we're going to start out trying to run the ball and then open things up, is what I think. That's what I would do, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
Start off, make sure Julian's comfortable, and then open it up as the game progresses.
Can we change subjects real fast?
Sure.
What's your thoughts on Dabo Sweeney?
Oh, man. I loved it. I loved it. His sadness brings me joy. I know I shouldn't be that way, but I am. He just, you cannot go off like you did and then want to cry and play the victim. Oh, I'm so sad. That, my heart is pouring into this program. You didn't talk like that when before then. I think that was purely because he was getting backlash for what he said earlier. To me, I think he's phony, and I'd be done. He put that program under the sword when he refused to adapt to college football. The new college football with transfer portal and NIL and everything, and now you want to fit like a little crybaby? No.
Wouldn't that be funny if Tyler from Spartanburg was actually our Tyler this whole time?
Yeah.
Tyler said, "I wish I was Tyler from Spartanburg." That's funny. No, I don't know how many of you have been over to Brian's channel, the Clemson Football Live, but I made a video about where I think Clemson really is, and I think that Dabo is about to hit rock bottom. And just like a drug addict, when they hit rock bottom, they sometimes they have to hit absolute rock bottom before they can get cleaned up. And unfortunately for Dabo,
I just think they need a new voice in that room.
You really think it's time for
do.
Dabo to get out of there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's
The
going to happen.
game has passed him by, and it's just time for them to get a new voice in that room.
I don't see that happening. There's still too many fans who are Dabo supporters. Go look at their Facebook.
I know, but
go look at their Facebook pages and fan groups.
Yeah, because they fall for that. Oh shucks, phony, baloney, holier than thou, corn-fed BS stuff he serves up all the time.
Yeah, I know. But
none of it's real.
There's a lot of fans that look at those 2 national championships he won, and they are not willing to confront the man and blame him for anything. He's kind of like a Jesus figure to them. He can do no wrong. He walked on water. He won 2 national championships when no one else could. There's a lot of that going on. It's wild.
Yeah.
Hey Lisa, good to see you here tonight. And Lee as well, and Ryan Day's Championship Beer. Good to see you guys pop in.
Shout out to Vader for going full Matt Murdock on everyone during the call. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't expecting to get a law education while watching the show. Thank you, Vader. I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, me as well. Like I needed that. I'm like, dude, send that to me because my argument with Chris went to law school. Chris can debate like really well. Dude's got lawyer skills.
Grumpy cat, attorney at law.
Grumpy cat, attorney at law.
I can see it. That needs to be a TV show.
Oh,
It really does.
that's freaking hilarious.
I'm pitching it to Fox.
I think it's a great idea. Mika, what else you want to talk about tonight?
And I just wanted to talk about Angelo and tell everyone be calm during the game. We might start out slow, but I think we got it.
Yeah,
Linebackers
I'm a little worried about the rust.
Game will be key, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I'm a little worried about the rust from the bye week, flying all the way out to the West Coast. That's another thing against us. Hostile environment. That's a third thing that's going to be hard to overcome. There's a lot for this team to overcome this game. Hostile environment, long flight to the West Coast. You coming off a bye week. First time Julian Saints starting on the road. They have a 22 game home win streak. Like there's a lot to overcome in this football game. Just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. Mika, you've got some big news for everybody coming out very soon as well. So again, we hinted about Buck Vader having some news. We're gonna hint that Mika's gonna have some news too. So a lot of really cool things are gonna be happening here at the OHIO podcast very soon, and we're really looking forward to seeing how everybody's gonna react to a lot of this news, and I can't wait for it, Mika.
Team effort. I'm super excited about it. Everyone tune in to Buckeye Ladies, and if you haven't yet, follow me on X at Mika Hannah. I'm trying to grow my social media so I can promote the show. Be nice. Twitter is scary. Be nice.
It's a very hostile environment on Twitter. It's why I don't do anything controversial. I literally just post like the show and the graphics and that kind of stuff and the articles.
That's what I do.
I do not make controversial statements because boy, whew, it can be an ugly.
That's what I do. That's what I do. There's enough negativity in the world that doesn't need my help.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you're right, Bobby Mack. I did hear the team is flying out on Thursday as well. So they're going out an extra day early. All right, Mika. Appreciate the phone call, girl. Have a good evening.
Good night. Thanks for everything, guys.
You're welcome. OH.
Go Bucks.
All right, we're going to take one more tonight. 402. What's up, Rocky?
Hello, Buckeye Nation. How are we doing tonight?
Woo! You bringing the juice on at 9:41 p.m. Eastern on a Monday night. I love it, Rocky. Doing good, man. How's your weekend? How's your week going, buddy?
Pretty good. It's been a long time since me and you actually had a chance to talk on these call-in shows. It's always been the wild man, wilding out about. Oh well, you just let that season go, it's good to talk to you. I do got a lot to talk about, and just to let you know, I work third shift, so this is like my 8 o'clock in the morning,
Nice. Okay, so are you getting ready to go in here soon, huh?
No, actually, I got tonight off. They I work security, so we worked on contracts, and they canceled the contract for the rest of the week of the site that I was working at. So basically, I got tonight off. So, yippee skippy.
There you go. Well, let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about? Well, you said you had lots to talk about. Let's break it all down, man.
Pretenders, contenders. I need to talk about the wild man, about what he about the vacating of the wins, and so with the pretenders and contenders, like we all know that, like I don't know what the heck I'm talking about sometimes, because I thought Nebraska was going to be the dark horse, and they just flopped, man. And I'm living here in Nebraska. It's just so funny to me that that they keep living in the past. I make a joke with my fellow Husker fans here in Lincoln that I asked him this, like, isn't it true? Because I heard that, like, it was an urban legend that every Husker fan keeps a time machine in their closet so they can travel back to the 90s from like those glory days. Is that true? It gets a good kick out of them, but it's a good joke that I mess with them a little bit, But, good God, man. Like, Nebraska was turning upward, and I guess it's just a Nebraska ethos. We take 4 steps ahead and 20 steps backward. They're done. Like Matt Rule, he's a good coach, but he's not. I don't know which is worse, Nebraska or Wisconsin, because those are sinking ships. Like Luke Fickell, he's out. He's gone. He's going to be out of Wisconsin. Dabo Swinney, he's gone. He's out. He's going to be out of Clemson. Billy Napier, the Florida situation is very interesting because the last 4 seasons, 2 to 3 seasons, you can argue that they have the toughest schedule in the whole country because they play on average 5 ranked teams or 4 ranked teams, depending on the year, in a row. Half of them is on the road. And Florida doesn't. It's just not fair if you're just Florida. The Florida Gators, the same fan base who talked all that crap when Urban Meyer was there, ironically. And look at them now. They've became of what they hate. Losers. So it's kind of like bittersweet because I am from that part. So what do you think about that, Eric?
About what? You said a lot there. What do you want me to talk about?
Oh, you picked dealer's choice.
Oh, geez, man. Let's start with Nebraska. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Super disappointed with the Cornhuskers, man. This was their chance. This was their opportunity to take the next step in their rebuild that has been going on for the better part of over 20 plus years. And you mentioned it. They take 1 step forward. It's like they take 20 steps backwards. And they had coming into their house the team that just won a national championship 2 years ago, the team that had all this buzz because of who their quarterback is. And they had every advantage in this football game. Home field advantage, a quarterback with more experience, everything you could want in this game. And then they go out and they lay that kind of stinker defensively is the most disappointing Nebraska thing I have seen in a very long time for them. Very long time. That, to me, that is wild. As far as the coaches you mentioned, I don't think Dabo Swinney is done in Clemson. I don't. I think Dabo Swinney can write another chapter. Yeah. He can be redemptive. He can rewrite a redemptive arc in Clemson, South Carolina. What Dabo has to do is hit rock bottom, get some humility. He needs some humility. And he needs to look at this as I have to blow everything up and rebuild the entire program. And it starts with how his own approach to college football, because it's not working. We don't use the NIL and we don't use the transfer portal. That ain't going to happen. So it's not going to be an easy thing for Dabo Swinney, because it's going to take someone who's willing to swallow his pride and admit he's wrong to do that. Now, the Dabo that we saw in the press conference 2 weeks ago, he ain't hit rock bottom yet. But losing to Syracuse, he might be getting closer to that. Which means he's going to have to blow up his entire program, and he's going to need the athletic department and the fan base and everybody to understand that in order to do what he wants to do, what they need to do, it's going to be a complete overhaul rebuild. I just don't know how much patience people will have, but maybe they will, because he's won them 2 national championships. That's my thought on Dabo Swinney in Clemson, South Carolina. Your thoughts on that?
I don't think that the fans are going to be patient enough in this new era. Look at LSU. They fired a head coach that won them a national championship and the Heisman Trophy winner in the same year. It doesn't fit the status quo of the modern college football fan. I mean, like even us on Ohio State side, we have lunatic fringes and one, and this includes me. I'm talking down on myself too because I wanted Ryan Day gone because he couldn't beat Michigan. You throw all those dynamics, like Clemson can't win football games. You're unranked. You're the preseason favorite to win a national championship. You're the preseason favorite to have a Heisman Trophy winner.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing no production, nothing going on for Clemson except for a coach. Now, 2 weeks ago, I defended that. You know, like you're trying to set a tone, a culture in the locker room, showing the players that, hey, he has my back, I have his, right? Second week he loses. Syracuse beats the brakes off of Clemson. It's just like, oh, God, you're just not making this easy for me to defend you, Dabo. Because I will defend a coach real quick. A lot of people don't understand, you know, about coaches like Brian Kelly. He kind of went and have a little rant on a reporter like, well, what else more do you want? Like, fix? What do you mean to fix? We just scored. What are you talking? You know, so I do defend coaches to a point. Well, Dabo, I think it'll be better that once they go through it, if they go through the reconstruction, I think that they're going to have to get a new face that I think that it's just necessary. You're going to need someone who understands the environment, who knows what's it going to take. You know, you look at other coaches, and this is just for an example. Another coach who is kind of like in the similar situation in terms of football passed them by, and it's just like they can't catch back up is Brett Bielema at Illinois. You know, Brett Bielema had a great program when he was at Wisconsin. He leaves, and that ruined his coaching career in terms of how much of success he was getting while he was at Wisconsin. He had it made in Wisconsin. It didn't make any sense when he left, but what the point I'm just making, you know, college football moved past beyond those two. But Dabo Swinney, it'll be best to get a new head so you have someone to get back ahead, because a lot of SEC and ACC teams are just behind the curve on the modern day of college football with everything. And something I do want to talk about, like you look at Ohio State, it just dawned on me last night after the shows, like Ohio State is building the unofficial NFL team in college football. I mean, you think about it. I mean, they got Matt Patricia and Ryan Day has all sorts of connections to the NFL. Like Ohio State is, you know, they're building it much like an NFL team, so kids can be assimilated of how the NFL works. So when they go to the NFL, the transition part is going to be easier. Ohio State seems to be the only team that understands that. Texas is going through something, you know, Sarkisian. He's going through like his own growing pains of adapting the modern college football landscape, and also how to balance the coaching act. Notre Dame is the perfect example of that testament too, where Marcus Freeman is trying to figure out how to address his problems with his coaching stuff, because they got a serious coaching issue. But going back on Dabo, it's just best to get someone new who understands the modern status quo in college football.
Yeah, he's gonna have to completely redo his staff. He's gonna need. He's made some really bad coaching hires. This is coming not from me, but from Brian from the Clemson Football Live podcast. This is his take on it, and I think he's right. He's really made some really poor coaching decisions and hires, which, you know, you brought up Notre Dame. I think Marcus Freeman made a wrong decision in bringing in Coach Ash to run that defense. That Notre Dame defense has taken a significant step backwards. And they had so much returning talent on that defense. That should be the strength of their football team. And right now, everybody, including Purdue, is running through that defense. And so Chris Ash is not getting it done as the defensive coordinator over there in South Bend, Indiana. That's for dang sure. But yeah, Dabo's gonna have to. He's gonna have to blow it. When I say he blows up everything, I mean everything. His culture, how he's built, how the philosophy about building, the roster, The coaching staff, it's going to have to be a complete rebuild in order for it to work. If he thinks I can keep doing this and we'll just maybe do a little bit more portaling and maybe we can add a little bit more NIL, like that's not going to get it done. It's broken. Like whatever he was doing is broken over there. That's just my take on that. What's your thoughts about this weekend's game in Seattle against the Huskies for the Buckeyes?
Well, minus college game day, that reminds me of 2019 when Ohio State getting into Nebraska. You know, it was like a spectacle, but we find out how good Ohio State is. I think we're, like I said in the comments, it's going to be a first half struggle, second half dominance, or it's just going to be Ohio State blows the doors off and people are going to be like, oh no, not again. You know, like it's going to be one of those two things. Every single game Ohio State plays is the best team that any team is playing against. So you dang well know that they're going to come out with, the other team's going to do the best they can. And that's what a lot of people around the country don't understand about Ohio State, about how good you are. You got a target on your back. Alabama fans do understand this because they have Nick Saban. So they ran in the same, when Nick Saban was there. But nowadays, and it's always been like that. You play Ohio State, you better come up with your best, because if you don't even try, you're not even going to. They're just going to walk all over you. And I think Washington is going to try to keep up, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. Washington is going to have some spark. Yeah, absolutely. Talent does show in a big game. I don't see it. I really don't. We're looking, I would say probably 37-24, with Washington trying to stage a late comeback. But I think it's going to be like a second half shut up by the defense. I mean, our defense is so good. They're going to struggle for sure, but Matt Patricia, we're talking about a Super Bowl winning coach and a winning coach at college football when he does his positions. It's just, the only teams I do see a threat being at this point. Do we play USC this year?
No.
Okay. Because they look pretty scary. I saw them. And they play a lot like Ohio State run game is scary. But the team I'm mainly concerned is I'm not even really worried about Penn State. They're pretenders. They're big-time pretenders, and their reality's catching up to them this weekend. The Ducks are going to smack around the Lions this weekend. It's not even, it's going to be ugly. But I'm worried about Cincinnati. Kurt Signetti, that guy ain't no joke. Like, he backs it up. Yeah, sure, we beat him, and they lost to Notre Dame, but first-year head coach, he goes to the playoffs. That dude ain't no joke. That guy is going to be challenging power. People like him, they build programs to challenge teams like us. That's a problem. I mean, that's a big problem. But don't sleep on Indiana. That's the only team I'm really concerned about. Michigan, no, not really. But anyways, I'll leave it there.
We still got to beat them, though. Still got to beat them. Has to happen.
Worst case scenario, I'm wrong. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, that if we were to lose to them again, it's just we literally are living through the 90s again, except you now have a chance to win it all because of the playoffs. Other than that, we literally are living through the 90s again. Ryan Day needs that win desperately. He knows that. Like he got the giant gorilla off his back by winning a national championship, but that monkey's still hanging around on his back, and he's got to get it off his back, man. It's got to happen. Rocky, this has been a fun call. I love it when you call in, dude. It's always a good time when you call in, man. I'm glad you had the night off so that you could call in tonight, man. Have you called in to Always Irish in a while?
They've been avoiding me.
Really?
Because
Why is that?
I called Lou Holtz out on their own show about like the Lou Holtz Ryan Day drama saga. Yeah. And it's funny. They talk about Ryan Day, you know, like, oh, you're going to go after an old man. But yet they make it an exception when an old man who should have known better, who ought to know better, runs his mouth off. And yet they're just serious Notre Dame copium. I've been trolling over that one because, I love John Kennedy, but I don't buy an excuse that he's just old. Let him be. And I'm like, no, sir, no, we're not playing that game, sir. So I try to call in. He ain't taking my calls, and you know what? It's his show, his prerogative. But you know the best thing is, kiss the ring. That's all I got to
say. Well said, Rocky. Great phone call, brother. Anything else on your way out?
Yeah, I do got one thing. This is like a PSA for old Ray who was talking.
Yeah.
Hang in there, bro. You know, here's a nugget of wisdom, maybe something that can help with your daughter. You know, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. Maybe she hears that message. Maybe something will click in her head so she can do better. But hang in there. Your nightmare's almost over, man. You know, people out there praying for you, and keep your head up. And just know one thing, my friend. You're a fan of the Ohio State University defending national champions. So that should keep that little light in your heart going, man. Keep that candle going. Anyways, that's all I got to say, Eric.
Well done, Rocky. Well said, buddy. Have a good evening, OH.
IO.
Good phone call to end on right there, everybody. Good show tonight, everybody. We went almost exactly 2 hours. This was a lot of fun this evening, everybody. Thank you so much for all of you who joined in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button on your way out. These call-in shows, they're so much fun, man. Chris and I love doing them. So tomorrow night, Buckeye Lounge with Sean and TG at 8 o'clock. The Ohio State versus Washington preview will drop Wednesday evening. Thursday night, it's the Buckeye ladies. It's TG, it's Mika. Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Saturday morning is the call-in show at 10 a.m. with the Wild Man. 3:30 on Saturday will be the live watch Ohio State versus Washington right here on the OHIO podcast, and hopefully within a week. Maybe it'll be Monday night next week. I don't know. Big announcement coming on the next chapter of the OHIO podcast. You're all going to want to hear it. It is going to be epic. You're going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. We're so excited to tell you all exactly what it entails coming, hopefully within the next week, everybody. That's the hope, anyways. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We appreciate all of you. On our way out, it's the Ohio State versus Washington theme song for this week. Who let the Bucks out? Have a good night, everybody.
O-H-I-O. Big Dog's here. We run this yard. Buckeyes bite and we bite real hard. Yo, we're rolling to Seattle, scarlet flood in the streets. Husky Stadium shaking when the Buckeyes meet. 22 games, yeah, you had your fun, but the big dog's here and the streak is done. Jetfish stinking like a day-old plate. Cooking up losses, that's your fate. You bark, we bite, there's no debate. The Buckeyes feast and y'all the bait. The Husky is gonna meet the dog. Who let the Bucks out? Woo, woo. The Husky is gonna meet the dog. Who let the Bucks out? Woo, woo. Bulls breaking free, can't chain him down. Scarlet and gray, we own this town. O-H-I-O, O-H-I-O. Bo Jackson running wild, Jay's hard to stop. Burst and power, watch him hit the top. Every cut he makes, crowd losing their mind. Huskies chasing shadows, always 2 steps behind. Seattle skies, but the storm is red. Buckeyes crashing down on purple heads. From the horseshoe straight to the West Coast scene, we're the kings of the yard, y'all know what I mean. The Husky is gonna meet the dog. Who let the Bucks out? Woo, woo. The Husky is gonna meet the dog. Who let the Bucks out? Woo, woo. That streak is gone, it ends tonight. The Buckeyes bite and we bite real right. O-H-I-O. We're the dogs and we run the show. the Buckeyes roll. Call up the dog pound, the scarlet bark. We're tearing up Huskies from light to dark. 22 wins, yo, that's cute. But the Big Ten dog just pulled up in boots. Coach Fish sinking in a purple sea. Dale smell, no victory. Tried to howl, but you sound too weak. We're the